Let's travel back in time. We're talking over 2,500 years ago to a sacred place in ancient India called Vulture's Peak. What happened there, recorded in the ancient Pali texts, gives us one of the most vivid and frankly terrifying illustrations of karma you'll ever find.
So here's the scene. You have two of the Buddha's most famous disciples, the Venerable Lakkhaṇa and the Venerable Mahāmoggallāna. They've just finished up their meditation and they're starting to walk down the path from the mountaintop.
And then something kind of strange happens. Mahāmoggallāna, who was known for being incredibly insightful and, pretty serious, just smiles. It's a quick, little smile, but it's totally out of character, and his companion definitely notices.
Now, a smile is just a smile, right? Well, not this one. This wasn't a happy thought kind of smile. This was a smile that held a vision, a peek into a whole other reality. So the big question is, what in the world did he just see? Lakkhaṇa, seeing this, is immediately intrigued. He knows his friend. He knows this isn't just some random expression. So he just comes right out and asks him, "Hey, what was that about? Why the smile?" But Mahāmoggallāna doesn't answer, at least not yet. He basically says, "Hold that thought. This isn't the right time or place. Ask me again when we're with the Buddha." Wow. Talk about building the suspense, right? Whatever he saw, it was so significant it needed to be discussed in front of their teacher.
All right, so they finish their alms round and they go to see the Buddha. And you better believe Lakkhaṇa didn't forget. The first chance he gets, he says, "Okay, we're here. Now can you please tell us what made you smile on the mountain?"
And this is where it gets wild. Mahāmoggallāna finally explains. He starts describing these absolutely horrific, supernatural visions he had. And the first one, it's something straight out of a nightmare, a living, flying skeleton. He calls it an Atikasankalikam, a chain of bones zipping through the air. But this wasn't just some inert object. It was alive, and it was screaming in agony, while vultures and hawks just relentlessly attacked it, ripping at it between its ribs.
And if you think that was bad, hold on. It didn't stop there. After the skeleton faded, another thing appeared in his vision, and this one was somehow even more gruesome.
He saw a mampsapesim, which literally just means a lump of flesh. And just like the skeleton, it was flying, screaming, while being torn to pieces by birds of prey. These weren't just visions. They were visions of pure, unimaginable suffering.
Okay, just pause and imagine this scene for a second. This highly respected monk is describing these unbelievable, ghastly sights. But then the Buddha speaks. And he doesn't say, "You were imagining things." No, he confirms all of it and then gives the profound reason why it's happening. The Buddha completely backs him up. He says, "Oh yeah, I've seen that being too." But he explains that he never spoke about it. And why? Out of compassion. He knew that if he told people about it and they didn't believe him, their disbelief itself would cause them harm. But now, with a credible witness, the time was right to explain.
And the entire explanation comes down to this single powerful concept, kamma. Now in Pali, the original language of these teachings, kamma doesn't mean fate or destiny. It's much simpler and more direct. It just means action. It's the universal law of cause and effect tied directly to our intentions and our deeds.
And here's where it all clicks into place. The Buddha makes the connection crystal clear. That tormented skeleton, that wasn't some random monster. It was the direct result of a past life. Specifically, the life of a cattle butcher who lived right there, in their own city, and it caused unbelievable suffering to animals.
So what happens next is just incredible. The Buddha basically opens up a series of karmic case files, using Mahāmoggallāna's visions to show this direct, one-to-one link between specific actions and their very, very graphic consequences.
You see the pattern here, right? It's so direct. A butcher who used knives now has swords growing out of his own body that turn around and cut him. A hunter who killed with spears is now pierced by spears erupting from his own flesh. A slanderer whose words pierced other people is now literally pierced by needles. The result is a mirror of the action. And this law doesn't care about your social status, a jealous queen, a corrupt judge, a dishonest priest, even monks and nuns who broke their vows. Every single one of them experiences a reality that was forged by their own past actions. No one gets a free pass. And then, just when you think it can't get any more intense, the Buddha clarifies something staggering. These horrific visions that Mahāmoggallāna saw, they're just the aftermath.
They are the leftover residual results that these beings experience after already spending hundreds of thousands of years in a hell realm. It's a timescale that's almost impossible to comprehend, and it's meant to show the immense weight of our choices.
So what is the point of all this? Why all the graphic, supernatural imagery? You know, it's easy to dismiss this as just a bunch of ancient, scary stories. But if you do that, you're missing the incredibly deep and practical ethical lesson at the heart of it all.
These visions aren't just meant to scare you. They're allegories. They're powerful teaching tools designed to be unforgettable. They take a very abstract idea, the law of karma, and they make it real. They make it visceral, something you can't just ignore. They show you, in the most dramatic way possible, that our choices have a real, inescapable weight.
When you boil it all down, this whole story is teaching us a few key things. 1. Actions have consequences. Period. 2. If your intention is to cause harm, you are creating suffering, and a lot of that suffering is going to come back to you. 3. The reality you live in isn't random. You are actively shaping it with your choices. And that leads to the final point. This is a profound call to be mindful, to be aware of the why behind everything we think, say, and do.
And that really brings it all back to us, right here and right now. If we strip away the flying skeletons and the men made of swords, the core message is timeless and incredibly personal. If every action you take today is a seed you're planting for your tomorrow, what kind of future are you creating?